graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Did you think up until just now America was the only country with a democracy? They also say my anaconda don't want none unless you've got buns, huh?
The name ends in ski. It's not for me.
Hey, I'm a big city slicker kind of guy. I do cool stuff and nobody fucking likes you.
I mean, I remember not being good, but I remember like having fun. Like most relationships in my life. Don't be a stranger.
It's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. And now, here's Chris Cologne and Austin Schutte.
Hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm wearing the skin of a human whose name was Austin.
Well, I don't know if my recorder's working. Today's the inaugural, for the Carcast at least, the inaugural use of my recorder. But I decided
you tested it beforehand.
Yeah, well, I also have my phone recording also, because, you know, they say, if you have two, you have one. If you have one, you have none. Son.
Is that a real thing they say?
It's like a thing, like when you're in any kind of like entertainment or whatever. Like,
yeah, they also
if you have equipment.
They also say my anaconda don't want none unless you've got buns, huh? It's kind of like when Tommy Wiseau was shooting The Room, and he shot on film and HD cameras side by side.
Is it? If you had two, you got none. You got one. You got one.
If two have, we need more cameras, Mark.
So I didn't get a chance to put out the episode today. It's Monday because the Wi-Fi at our job wasn't working.
Right.
So,
which did you? All right. So if you leave out the main door of the break room, was the password on the right or the left that you used?
If you're leaving the break room, I used the one that was on the left, the old one that's been there from like last month.
You fucked up.
Okay.
The new one is on the other side of the door.
I checked the other side of the door and I saw nothing on the clipboard.
Check harder next
I
time.
think someone like took the.
Took it?
Yeah, and I remember like a couple password changes ago, like the paper was like on the table, and I'm like, why doesn't someone just post this? And like I took a picture of the password, the old password. Like that's what I'll do in case if I don't have it, I need it from my laptop. But I haven't done the artwork yet. But I was planning to do the artwork on my lunch break. See the stuff I do, the sacrifices I make for this podcast.
Yeah, man, you use a fucking hour of your 40 hours of free time every week to cobble something together.
But it's become my habit where I'll edit the podcast. Like I'll watch Saturday Night Live. My daughter's usually asleep by then. She's usually asleep before Saturday Night Live, and then then I'll start editing the podcast. And then I see the sun come up. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go to sleep.
So we've had it in the can for like 30 hours, and we're like, maybe I'll get to it now.
Well, not what? Because we record Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my weekend. I want to relax.
Fucking with you, man.
I worked all week, damn it. It's hard, man, but it's like, I get my kid on the weekends, and only on the weekends, and I'm tired. Like, I just want to relax. I just want or run errands, and I get my kid. And don't get me wrong, I love my kid. And I want to spend time with her, and I'm trying to like keep her off the pole, as Chris Rock says. But
you're afraid that she's going to date a Pollock? Chris Rock's kind of a dick.
The name ends in ski. It's not for me.
Jesus Christ. As a Pollock myself, I give you permission to tell that joke, but just careful with that shit about Little Poland, all right?
Is there Little Poland?
No.
Oh, okay. I know
there used to be, but now it's in Austria. Yeah.
There was a Little Poland here. Not anymore.
No, Little Poland.
Little Poland. That was my nickname in high high school.
Poland. Because you're small and stupid. How many little Polands does it take to change a light bulb? None, because he's fucking short. Kids are jerks.
So, I posted a picture of myself today. One of Facebook flashback deals from 7 years ago. And you said I look like a guy from the barbershop? I don't understand that reference.
You're the kind of fucking scumbag that just like hangs out at the barbershop, but you're not getting your hair cut. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm sure at least one person I know will get their hair cut today, and then I'll have a social life. For the most part, I'm just here to talk about sports with a guy who I think is my friend, but really only tolerates me because I keep buying drinks. Just that kind of like, hey, I'm a big city slicker kind of guy. I do cool stuff, and nobody fucking likes you.
Sort of have a captive audience.
Yeah.
Like, I keep coming here. He doesn't want to kick me out.
It's like, yeah, we'll hang out with you because we're fucking at work, and every hour or so you buy a Snapple.
When I lived in Jersey, I lived in a not so great neighborhood, like now in Rochester, and that was when I used to have hair, and I used to go get my hair cut and I was the only light skinned person in there. I mean, let's be real. It was interesting to see like guys would come in, everyone's selling a mixtape. I wouldn't be surprised if there were guys like buying weed in the back, real fucking suspicious type stuff going on. And then like what I hated was sometimes I would get there, like I would just walk in, I'm used to most barbershops, you walk in and then like somebody would come in, oh, if you don't mind, he had an appointment. And that was really, you're fucking with me. That guy didn't have an appointment. He's your friend. You don't want him to wait. Because when I came and sat down, the guy never said, hey, look, it's 1:45, I have a 2 o'clock appointment.
Right.
I came in, some guy would come in, give him the complicated handshake.
You know what I would say to that if he said something like that to me? Like, hey, it's 1:45, I got 2 o'clock appointment. Well, if it takes you 15 minutes to cut my fucking hair, I want to go to a different barbershop anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, I think you should let the person know, like, okay, just letting you know that, I have an appointment at this time, and the guy I'm taking care of right now, it's not going to be done by then. And it's like, what are you going to do? Sort of like a Mexican standoff in the barbershop. Well, no, I have no gun.
Right.
I'm being held at gunpoint at the barbershop.
And also, you're not. They're like, hey, we might not serve you. Or you might have to wait a little bit. It's not really a Mexican standoff. That's just like, oh, I couldn't get a haircut today.
I wanted one. I guess I have to wait.
It's like, I need $10 before 2 o'clock, but I can't cut this guy's hair because I have a 2 o'clock appointment. And that's a Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
He could deny you a haircut, and you could deny him the $10 for the haircut. Anyway, it's a cute picture. Your kid looked great.
And it's weird because I had hair.
That was really fucking weird.
And that was my very first Android phone. That was 7 years ago.
Wow.
2011. Like, I still had like a flip phone when I went to go work at Radio Shack, where we sold Android phones. I didn't even get a cell phone until like 2001. I got a cell phone after 9/11. I was like, okay, now I need a cell phone.
I didn't have a cell phone until like 2008. Granted, I was like a child up until then, so I just kind of got a cell phone because I started to need one.
Well, in 2008 you were 17?
16, 17.
16, 17?
And even then, like, I never kept time on it, so I just, like, owned a cell phone.
Oh.
Like, there'd be, like, a month or two here and there where I'd keep minutes on, but for the most part, I just fucking let it lapse. Mm-hmm. Now look at me. Always got a cell phone. Always, like, oh, I can't leave this in the other room, because what if someone fucking calls me? I just fucking hate my life when I turn it off sometimes.
But it's like,
it's like connected to the world. It's like, you didn't answer your cell phone. Are you fucking dead? No, I
just don't have pockets right now.
I just wanted to read for a minute. Just one fucking goddamn minute, Mom.
So, on the last episode, I asked you what your plans for the Super Bowl were, and you didn't go.
Yeah, I stayed at home, made quesadillas, and had nothing to do with the Super Bowl until it was over.
So how'd you know about the Solo trailer?
Because my friend Keith out in California texted me as soon as the teaser came out. He was like, dude, did you see the trailer? I'm like, no, I'm not watching the game. Like, what the fuck? Well, you just fucking, it'll be online soon. Look at it. All right, man. Like, how are you this inarticulate over text?
Mumble.
Neither of us really said any of that, but, it's funny, and you get the gist. Left up here, right?
Left, yeah.
I don't know why the fuck I switched lanes. You're probably wondering that yourself.
It's empty night, or you just live...
Oh, yes, it's empty night, and the feeling's right.
We can live risky.
Empty night. My butt is tight.
Cut across 4 lanes, 3 lanes. Turn here, quick! Left or right! Death Pack! Serpentine!
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't watch the game?
I didn't watch the game.
What do people do who don't watch the game?
Oh, same thing I do every fucking Sunday night, man. Watch Netflix, play video games, fucking read a book, make quesadillas.
So for nerdy stuff, obviously the Solo trailer I was super jazzed about.
There was a new TV spot for Infinity War.
A new TV spot for Infinity War. I'm trying to think,
Were you just bitching about the Ralph Report sports section, and now you're like, let's talk Super Bowl?
No, well, I'm talking about, I didn't talk about the game. Let's talk about the commercials, which is like, people like myself. There was the new Infinity War trailer spot, and they had to show Tom Holland climbing that big cock ring in the sky, taking his mask off, gasping for air.
Whenever Tom Holland handles a cock ring, it takes his breath away. At least that's what I've heard. He's a child still. He can't vote yet. So I shouldn't.
And plus, he's not American, so he really can't vote. Do they vote in England?
Yes.
Well, okay. It's a monarchy. They have a queen. I'm like, do they vote?
It's a constitutional monarchy. They vote for like the prime minister and like the
queen. I win every year. Hello. Every 4 years, it's me again.
Did you think up until just now America was the only country with a democracy?
Well, I didn't. I know they have a parliament, but it never dawned, because to me voting seems like such an American thing to do. Like, you see like the polling places that have like, the red, white, and blue banners and stuff like that. Like, I don't think of voting.
Most countries vote.
Yes, okay, I'm a Americentrist. Americentrist?
Like, technically speaking, even North Korea votes. There's only one name on the ballot.
You vote for On? On?
Every term,
I'm a Democrat and Republican.
They just lead people in droves, and they're like fucking at gunpoint, like, hey, vote for Kim Jong-un. He's the only one on the ballot. And they're like, fuck, okay.
Why don't you show up? Because you have a day off from work, you show up, you go. Wait, sorry.
It's the Democratic People's Republic of fucking Korea.
Is that racist mid affectation?
Yeah, I was gonna let it slide because we're pros. But yeah, that was pretty fucked up. If you're gonna call yourself out, I guess I can. End of chapter 1. Insert tape 2.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Give me a head with hair, long beautiful hair, shining, streaming, gleaming, flaxen, waxing. That's cats, right?
This is the age of Aquarius.
How many are understanding?
Aquarius.
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and hydrocephalia. This is the time. Welcome back.
Hydrocephalia, we're back. That was our musical interlude. So you can go and take a piss while you listen to the podcast.
Yeah. They're just doing fucking show tunes but acting like they like pussy. Which is a harmful fucking stereotype, by the way.
And not like people who major in musical theater are gay or anything like that. But I digress. So,
yes, you did digress. Very, very good. Starting to recognize it finally.
Segue into a segue. What's the deal with the Segway? I want to get one.
The CEO of Segway fucking died in a Segway accident. It's
Wow.
like inventing the gun to fucking kill yourself.
It's like, I want to kill myself, but in the most innovative way possible. Yeah. What way would revolutionize most people's life? But it didn't really revolutionize anybody's life. I mean, besides Paul Blart.
Right, just like rich people who can afford a Segway fucking love the Segway.
But like, you can't take it anywhere. Like, there's no Segways like chained to a pole like a bicycle or anything like that.
Yeah, you can just kind of slide it out. It's pretty much, I don't want to walk, and I want gyroscopes involved in that endeavor.
But, that was supposed to be the big thing. We were supposed to be, the year 2018, and
I went to
living like the Jetsons and Cities in the Clouds.
I went to Epcot in 2004 and saw like a prototype Segway with this guy, and I was like, this is going to be the next big thing pretty soon. You won't have to fucking walk anywhere, you dumb little shits. And I'm like, why did they let this guy work here? He's fucking verbally abusing these children, call them dumb little shits. He's like, shut up, you cuck. I'm like, whoa, progressive, dude. All right, you're okay, man. You really are from the future. It was cool, man.
Donald Trump is president. Yeah, right, okay. I hate the speculative fiction bullshit.
No, turns out he was super preaching, man. He's a good dude. He fucking killed himself.
So I was with the introduction of our last episode of Sam's Club, the hydrocephalic pimp. Before that, we had interior designer Bane.
Interior design,
and Gary Fisher, the drug smuggling dog.
I just want to veto that last one. Please continue.
But I'd like to think that we're introducing characters one at a time, just sort of to create a shared universe. Because that's how you got to do it. You got to have you got to introduce the characters one at a time.
Right. That's the mistake that DC made. Not doing that.
So we have to come up with our, maybe we have little side characters like the Bones Out guy.
The Bones Out guy? I thought that was just one joke. He's a side character.
Isn't Ant-Man just...
How much fucking traction do you think we can get out of interior design after that first little run through?
I'd become a haberdasher of some sort.
So he's fucking making hats now?
He's a gentleman. He's Gentleman Bane.
Gentleman Bane.
Yeah, he's a haberdasher.
Renaissance Bane?
Yes.
Baneissance man?
Yes, and I have a tweed suit that breathes in the summer.
Oh, yes, I recently purchased a lathe.
I have 5 ascots coming in the mail right now.
Whether they make a pipe you can brew coffee in. It's called a bripe. I'm getting 4. I think it's just hipster Bane now.
I bought some houndstooth spats.
Fucking putting on the Ritz Bane.
This petticoat is lovely.
Oh, that's real monkey fur. Is this Bane or the fucking Monopoly guy? It doesn't even sound like Bane anymore, by the way. It just sounds like
It's Bane in our universe.
It just sounds like some British guy, and we just keep calling him Bane. Anyone who didn't listen to the last was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Because we started out kind of like this before, and now it's just, pip, yes, I have a houndstooth shoe. I bet you paraphrasing.
I have a peacoat made out of peacocks.
A peacock peacoat. A peacock coat, if you will. But you won't, because you're poor.
And it has no sleeves, because I'm Bane. I'm very warm down here in the shore. I'm very fashion forward. I use Brill cream. I don't even have any hair.
Vitalis?
I use Vitalis, yes. I use Vitalis on my scrotum hair. Keeps it luxurious.
I have a Bronson mustache under the mask.
Nobody cared who I was until I wore the mask.
It's kind of a hat on a hat.
I'm Gentleman Bane. Good day to you, sir. I will crash your plane.
All right, good day, Gentleman Bane, and I mean that in the opposite of a greeting.
I'm going to hop on my cross-country boat.
The fuck?
It's very steampunk.
Is that a boat he made out of cross-country skis?
It flies. It works on the dreams and imagination.
So not steam?
It's sort of a dreamcraft.
Feels like you called it steampunk, but it doesn't run on steam. Kinda confused.
I glued a lot of gears to the side of it. I kind of like the steampunk aesthetic, but it's not really practical. I don't use coal. Bad for the environment.
I really fucking love this, don't you? Holy shit.
I love Gentleman Bane.
You've gone long and hard on Gentleman Bane for this segment. Like we're most of the way to your house, and you've only talked about Gentleman Bane.
Alright, so, what are your thoughts on the Solo trailer? The Han Solo trailer, the teaser that was released on the Super Bowl. We kind of mentioned the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
And then they had the full-blown trailer.
Yeah, full-blownsies. That's how you describe AIDS when it's not HIV anymore. It looks really fun.
I was super excited to see, like, there was some sort of Darth Vader type guy on a planet.
I've got to rewatch it because you keep talking about, feather Darth Vader guy, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There is a scene where there's like, and I want to say, I'm hoping and praying that this is some sort of Knights of Ren situation, where there's literally like 10 guys on a beach. All of them are dressed in dark clothes, ragged. Some of them are tribal, some of them just look ragged. And the guy in the middle is wearing a mask, which is very indicative of like Kylo Ren's.
I'm really hoping that that's Captain Phasma's planet.
And because you said you were telling me earlier that you read the book. I read official canon.
I read some of the book.
Some of the book about Captain Phasma's planet, where they're tribal people
it's
after
like,
civilization or some sorts. Or
imagine like the topography of Themyscira and the world state and politics of Mad Max. It's really fucking cool.
But there was a civilization at one point.
Yeah.
It is broken down. People are now savages, but they also kind of have technology. They scrounged up technology,
right, like
or scavenged technology.
Ships will crash on the planet because the orbital defense system is still active. So it'll shoot down any ships that get too close to the planet, and then they'll go like scavenge from the ship. So
But you're saying she's wearing a mask, like even from like day one, even as like.
Oh yeah, she's wearing like a tribal mask, and she's got a big old spear because she's Captain Phasma, and that's her thing in all of the marketing, but never on the show.
Okay. Yeah, well, there's a scene where there's like 12 guys on a beach, or some sort of sandy drift or whatever, and one in the middle is wearing a very Kylo Ren like mask, but I swear to God, he has like feathers on him and stuff like that. But like the way like a tribal person would wear feathers, but it's kind of cool because it looks technology plus savage. I'm digging the fucking Donald Glover. I love how they didn't. I'm glad they didn't let's put Donald Glover in the exact same suit that we finally first see.
He's even got like different facial hair.
Yeah, he has sideburns and stuff like that. It's like, you could tell he's Lando-ish.
There's a definite essence of Calrissian to him.
He's not going to be wearing the same clothes 30 years earlier.
I think that's what they used to kill Socrates was essence of Calrissian.
And let me see what else. There is like a squat little female character, which I would hope
looks like Maz Kanata.
Yeah. Like but I mean, I don't know. Isn't Maz Kanata supposed to be like a Yoda, like a 900-year-old type character?
Oh,
or she's like when
800 years old. You see all kinds of different eyes. Thank you. I lost it.
Wow.
Ancient butthole eye Lupita. But yeah, she's like Yoda aged kind of thing.
But the good thing is even though she's old, we got a glimpse in The Last Jedi that she's still very, active and can, be in a gunfight and firefight and hold her own.
She's got a cool camera that just follows her.
Yeah.
That's neat.
A floating iPad.
Fucking nice of it.
It's a floating iPad! Sorry.
God damn it.
I can FaceTime while walking.
So, alright.
So my morning constitution.
Alright, I don't
with the family.
I don't fucking get to talk about Solo. I see how it is. Here's my opinion. Now I'm just gonna filibuster Bane until we park. Fucking asshole.
We got to see it. We see a cool monorail. That was cool.
Yeah, it looks like it does a little flip.
I think it's like if you do a hard turn.
Yeah, I know. Fucking whenever I ride a monorail, I'm like, I want to puke when this is over.
Well, I think that's a transport. That's not for leisure. That's to fucking get shit from point A to point B. Probably expensive shit for them to heist. Is that a word? To heist something?
I'm going to heist that ass. I don't know. I always put a verb in and then, I'm going to...
But you get what I mean. Like, that looks like that could be carrying some sort of valuable things that they're going to want to get, because it definitely looks like a heist movie at the very least.
Oh, for sure, man.
Like they're gonna hijack something. We're gonna see at least one heist. I'm guaranteeing. Well, we're gonna see at least one heist.
We'll see one heist, maybe two by the end of this year.
Yeah, two. And then they're flying through space, and there's like spiked tentacles or something. Is that a jaw? Is that? I mean, we saw that giant worm in like Star Wars. It certainly looked
like a tentacle. Maybe Rathtar.
Raptors are sort of like
those could have
end to end. Oh, those
could have been babies,
like a queen Raptor.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be
or like a Reptar,
like Raptor, like the Godzilla knockoff from the Rugrats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Disney bought out Nickelodeon.
Anyway,
which could happen. One day can happen.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I watching the trailer. It looks like a pretty big departure from the, tone and visuals of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. The car chase was fucking awesome.
Yeah, but like we might, that might be what we need. If nothing else, Last Jedi kind of at least took me out of my expectations for like what will and won't be in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. No lightsaber fight. Poe Dameron says big ass. Just weird shit that like, wow, that doesn't really fit with the recipe from last time, but I guess we're gonna roll with it. And if that's what they want to do with this movie, we're already kind of weaned off of Star Wars as we knew it with Last Jedi. So I'm on board. I give this movie 3.5 popcorn buckets out of a possible 2 sodas.
Well, I freeze framed another. There's a scene where there's a girl like in a shiny gold dress.
Yeah.
And she has like a thing in her mouth.
A tongue?
No, she has for lack of a better term, a gold pacifier. Let's just call it that. And then right next to her, there's like a frog and a floating. There's a frog in like a floating case.
Like Jabba's shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder if it's going to be like the frog is actually singing. Like the frog probably has like a beautiful angelic voice while like she's just
and it's just like modulating out of her mouth.
Yeah, or something like that. That would be, I don't know, freeze frame it when you get a chance. Like she has like a thing in her mouth and actually a thing on her neck also. She's wearing that gold dress. It's all gold, but there's a floating frog in a like the floating heads look like in Futurama. In right floating next to her, and I'm like.
I mean, maybe she was just smoking frog while she's dancing.
Oh, that's right, the frog.
Yeah. Look, Jabba had his hookah full of fucking alien frog.
Ah.
Although Disney said that they're eliminating smoking from all their stuff, so.
Ah.
Oh, we'll see.
I just think it would be one of those like cute juxtapositions of a frog having like a beautiful angelic voice.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby.
Everyone looks and it stops.
We'll be right back
for more Dick and Fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Did you ever see a film at such a young age it left you traumatized with cinematic wounds? Necrophilia. It's a dead issue, man. Don't push it. Cinemapsyops is a weekly podcast documenting an ongoing experiment on the mind of an unwilling test subject.
No one should have to watch this movie.
Oh, no one should have to watch this?
No one should have to watch this movie.
Surprisingly, it's not a topic that a lot of people really want to tackle.
I'm shocked, prudes.
I know, really.
Right?
It's the next sexual frontier that no one wants to explore.
I am, in the most sincerest of senses, disappointed in you.
It takes a powerful goddess like Connie, jam her arm down the monster's throat and kill it. Oh, I'm still tripping out over that. Even as a kid, I was like, I gotta find a girl like that. Every week, I get a new look of disappointment that I never thought I could get out of.
It's unimaginable. At 12 years old, you should not be watching this movie.
Obviously.
At 13, you should not be. 14, you shouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure even 17-year-olds should be watching this.
Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that you have the right to demand that it doesn't exist. Watching this film again, I had all of this like little nerd glee with everything that kept
little
popping
history
up.
doll popping up
absolutely.
at you.
So I totally loved this film.
Hey, I know why you couldn't see that. It's because your brain's warped from watching this shit at 12 years old.
Yeah, this is a rough movie. I told you ahead of time when we were getting ready to do it that it was.
How did you watch this shit at 12?
Because physical wounds heal, cinematic ones don't. Listen to Cinemapsyops.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase. And we're back. Hey.
Oh, can you
That's
say
not
that?
racist. Well, the Cleveland Indians are getting rid of Chief Yahoo. Or Wahoo.
Good.
Wahoo. So you can't go, hey. That's racist.
Oh, that's why you can't do that? Because of what the Cleveland Indians are doing?
Well, okay, one of our coworkers
Hold on, you're taking advice on what's okay to do from a team called the Cleveland Indians?
waited until 2018 to change your logo. So one of our coworkers was a black guy, asked me, so have you pre-ordered your tickets to Black Panther yet?
Oh, he asks me every fucking day.
And so I said no, not really. And he's like, and I totally forgot that I had made a big deal how I pre-ordered tickets to Star Wars.
Right.
He goes, oh, but you pre-ordered tickets to Star Wars, so you're not gonna pre-order tickets to Black Panther? And it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Black Panther is gonna be awesome, but I don't need to see it in IMAX. You know, Star Wars.
I know exactly what he's getting at, so I play into it. I'm like, oh no, I don't support those movies.
And it's like, but actually, I mean, they do look like it has like some cool special effects that are like would probably look good in IMAX, like a car that's like digitally
turns into a truck.
Black Panther turns into a truck.
Like fucking Moonwalker.
It's like, does Michael Bay direct Black Panther? Everything turns into a truck.
Why didn't you pre-order your tickets to Black Panther? Because Michael Bay directed it.
And he's a racist. Yeah, so he's like, you could get tickets to go see Star Wars, but you can't see Black Panther. So like, I kind of feel bad. Like maybe I should pre-order tickets.
Don't let him fucking race bait you into pre-ordering tickets to a movie when you're trying to save money.
Like, I don't even have a car.
Right.
I don't know what movie. I don't know what showing I can get to.
Yeah.
What
movie theater am I going to Uber to on opening day and hope that I make it out in time for work?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it. Yeah. I plan on seeing it the weekend it comes out, or
Don't let him race bait you. You can get Star Wars. There's a black guy in Star Wars, so he doesn't have a leg to stand on. That's a terrible argument. There's one black man in Star Wars sometimes.
Have you seen? So we were discussing earlier today the Cloverfield paradox.
Yes.
Dropped on Netflix right after the Super Bowl.
Hour and 30 minutes of great movie and fucking 5 minutes of a wet fart.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams seemed to ham-fist. I think he's a big Hollywood producer. He probably gets tons of scripts. He says, he probably gets a script. He goes, yes, I'm going to make that movie, but I'm going to fucking force it into my fucking Cloverfield universe. Because the first one was a kaiju Godzilla style movie, found footage, point of view camera.
Really good in the theater and loses something when you bring it home.
Yeah, I remember. I saw that movie and I'm not a person who gets motion sickness, but I was like, Jesus Christ, enough. And that was a young.
I'm not a person who gets motion sickness either, and I didn't. So.
That was a young. What's his face?
Lizzie Kaplan.
Lizzie Kaplan.
Oh, T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller. Well, Lizzie Kaplan and Mary Elizabeth Winstead are those. That's the Pullman Paxton. They kind of have that dynamic. We always get those confused.
I'm disagree,
You are?
but I respect you. I never get them confused.
The girl that... And I'm talking about the one that blows up in the subway from all the bugs being inside her.
I know, Lizzie
Spoiler alert.
So to
A movie that's literally 10 years old.
a movie that came out before I got my driver's license.
So the first one was a kaiju find footage point of view movie. The second one was a psychological thriller?
Psychological
Thriller,
yeah.
claustrophobic, and in a fallout shelter.
John Goodman's the bad guy, and oh my god, more of that, less of everything else.
Yeah, once again, great setup, horrible fucking payoff. And this one was like a sci-fi...
You know what? I'll say for 10 Cloverfield Lane, the payoff was great, but then the part after the payoff, which they feel like was the payoff, wasn't so great.
Yeah.
The actual climax of the movie, where it should have ended, was fucking phenomenal. And then they're like, oh, by the way, alien bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you.
You could have been like, right at that shot where she's about to take the helmet off the hazmat suit. If you just fucking rolled credits as soon as she broke the seal, fucking perfect movie. Call it something different.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, this seemed like a whole separate movie. J.J. Abrams probably got the rights to. Probably paid a couple bucks. Some writer probably got nice and paid. But he's like, but the twist, we're gonna stick this in my fucking Cloverfield universe.
And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Like, these could be scripts that, people crank these scripts out, and they're really fucking good, but they're not super marketable. So he says, you know what, we can take this story, tweak it just a little bit to fit into this franchise people know about, and you'll get people to watch it like fucking crazy.
Gotcha.
And it'll be your writing and shit on screen, just, a couple seconds in the middle, and then the last 10 seconds or so will be tailored to get these fuckers to watch.
Now, the guy that directed 10 Cloverfield Lane
died in a car crash. I don't know if that's drama.
He had directed a short that got big on YouTube. It was the Portal fan film.
Short that got big. What?
He did the
fucking. He did that.
He did the Portal fan film.
I remember that shit. That was great.
And with that, J.J. Abrams said,
the ones with the guards chasing her down the hall and she jumps off the roof and stuff, right?
The one that I'm talking about looks very J.J. Abrams-ish. But it was the guy doing it as
Is the chick kind of old looking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That one's fucking awesome.
But it looks like it was, he borrowed a lot of J.J. Abrams' style, a lot of lens flares. Let's just put it like that. That being said, on the back of that, J.J. Abrams said, "Okay, I will fucking buy the rights to Portal or whatever they license the rights to Portal, whatever." And you can do the Portal movie. But until then, take a look at this script that I have.
Oh, wait. So there's a Portal movie?
There's going to be a Portal movie executive produced by J.J. Abrams, directed by that guy.
Directed by the guy that did the fan film?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's going to be great.
Yeah. So that's one of those, God Bless America type things. And so I like Cloverfield Paradox. I thought it was... there's a friend of mine that was sort of bashing it, where'd they get the printed bullets? Because there's a 3D printed gun, or 3D printed. Where do you get 3D printed gunpowder?
From what I can tell, that 3D printer just has a shitload of common elements and can make whatever the fuck you need. Mm-hmm. It's their.
It can make a bagel. It can make a gun. Yeah. Spoiler alert, I guess, for Cloverfield Paradox.
It's their. Well, if you're listening this far into a random-ass bundle of things we talk about, and you're like, oh shit, now they're going to spoil this movie they've been talking about for 10 minutes, maybe you deserve it. But yeah, my understanding was they've got a bunch of just random-ass shit, mm-hmm. and this is their cyberpunk ghetto version of the fucking Star Trek replicator.
Yeah. Well, it makes it a little more plausible.
So,
for today's...
If you've got the atoms that you need to chemically make gunpowder, then you can 3D print gunpowder. You have a nuclear-equipped, weird, crazy engine bullshit thing flying the ship all over the place that can just keep it in orbit for years. I'm going to allow the 3D printed bullets.
Oh. The collider. The super collider in space.
I'm saying, the ship was just able to sustain and be perfectly clean and all this shit. And I'm willing to suspend my disbelief because none of that's as bad as the last shot of the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, I liked the... It tugged on my heartstrings, and that's, for a fucking cold prick like myself, where... cold like a witch's tit.
Why is your prick cold?
It's cold outside.
You're trying to keep your sperm count high? 'Cause, like, for what?
Who knows? I might find somebody else.
Okay. Red.
So there's the woman who ends up going to another universe. Another dimension.
Probably universe.
Yeah. another a parallel universe.
They kept saying dimension, but they were wrong. It wasn't. They meant universe.
Parallel universe where in the universe she came from, her children died in a tragic accident that she caused.
Because she's just a shitty electrician. Should have hired her like a contractor.
Yeah, right. I guess. Well, I mean, it's in a world where like there's blackouts and the government's probably putting sanctions and rationing electricity. You probably.
So she built an arc reactor in a cave with a box of scraps.
And it killed her. Maybe she got one of those like Tesla batteries, the ones like for the house that Tesla invented. But okay, so
she killed her kids by accident.
She killed her kids by accident, and now she's in a universe where the accident never happened. Her kids are still alive, and she has every intention of going down to Earth and meeting up with her husband, her alternate self, and her children. Which I would have kind of liked to see that. Because how do you, imagine another you shows up at the door and says, yes, I'm you from another universe. I want to hug the kids.
Like I said earlier, I give it half an hour before the husband's got to go. He's like, which one do I fucking shoot?
Like Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
Which is which? Shoot him. But, and then, like, for her to make the decision, like, when she finally when it's revealed to her, when it's revealed to her that her kids are still alive, like that fucking that tore my fucking heart out.
And then ate it to gain its strength.
Ooh, what the fuck is that guy's problem? Holy shit.
Well, I don't think he knows how to drive very well, Chris.
He's probably distracted.
Yeah. Seems like he took that turn a little wide. Why do you ask?
So, the podcast is probably going to come out a day or two late because you called out sick from work.
It could also just be like 15 minutes shorter.
Yeah. I already do a lot of editing.
Right, but
it's going to be like a brief podcast?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Well, not a lot. I took a lot of the silences out and...
Well, but I'd rather have a kind of quicker podcast than have us off by a day for forever.
Gotcha.
Because of the nature of we get like 15 minutes. Or, if you really want, record tomorrow on the way in, too.
If you want to do that, I thought we would... It is not recording time.
Just to play catch-up. Or if you don't want to...
You can play mustard. I want to play mayonnaise.
You know what, man? Just fucking... Have a nice week. It's entirely up to you.
Okay.
Anyone listening, it's entirely up to him. Glad you could be here for this behind-the-scenes shit. We're not going to edit it in post. Going to leave every just awful
every awkward silence.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pad this fucker.
Don't modulate for dead air at this point. Like, as soon as you start talking about, like, this is going to be a little late, just don't modulate anymore. I have like
no truncating silence.
Yeah, and try and get like a really low frequency tone, just grow gradually louder and like come to an angry violence like head like right now. If you could do that, that'd be great. It'd be really funny if that was going on, and then as people were listening, they started to notice like, oh shit, this is what he's talking about. I noticed that. That'd be pretty cool. And then if you could just like this sentence I'm saying right now, play it again but backwards. And then we could just keep going. That'd be cool. Does that all sound good? You think you can handle all that weird shit? Kind of give you a little more to cut.
The podcast got really weird, man. I liked when they did their characters. Do characters again. It's an experimental space.
I feel like Austin was fucking with my phone from like the past. That wasn't great. Has that been recording?
I don't know.
You haven't even checked?
No. I'm like, I don't want to know.
Oh, that's a responsible way to go about this. And we're back.
Well, look, the guy's using a motorized palletizer. I learned how to use that motorized. Yeah, right. Motorized.
He's using a powered pallet jack to move a ramp onto a hydraulic lift.
To move a hand truck onto a ramp.
It's just a fucking inclined plane orgy going on there, man.
He's using a motorized pallet jack to take a ramp and a hand truck onto the back of the truck, that lift elevator thing.
It's not like, they got like, what was it, the 7 simplest tools or whatever? It's like just one simple tool, but fucking 7 different times.
The wheel, the wedge, the lever and pulley, the lever system, the pulley.
The internal combustion engine. I don't think that one's one of the simple.
The interlocking Ziploc. Interlocking Ziploc seal.
The little cap things that go on the end of your shoelace.
Why does every zipper have YKK on the zipper? Because there's one zipper company in the world. Well, it's owned by the Illuminati.
That zipper company handles like 90% of all zipper manufacturing.
It's all, but how come they get all the contracts? What's that all about?
They're Japanese. There's no antitrust laws.
But I mean, we could build companies here that make zippers
as efficiently as the Japanese, who've been doing it since the samurai days. I don't know if that's true or not.
Feudal zippers.
I feel like they were just like
made with feudal zippers made with like bamboo.
I feel like they were just first to the party as far as like mass producing zippers, and everyone else was like, fuck it, man, it's zippers.
You got this. Yeah. Pat him on the back and keep it walking.
Let them have zippers. I've got this thing that just it gins your cotton for you. I don't know what to call it yet. Rest assured, your cotton will be ginned.
And the printing press.
You need to press print or gin cotton. I'm your guy.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, lady. Take my money. So I was doing a little writing last night for an upcoming project, and I was drinking, and I generally don't drink when I write, because I find it counterproductive.
I mean, we would call you a pussy, but go on.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm more of a caffeine while writing guy. Definitely caffeine, but for some reason I was just in the mood, and like my hard drive has like 17,000 songs or whatever, like my long collection of music from like that I've been downloading since like 1999.
Oh, that must have cost you a lot of money to get all the licenses for those songs.
Yeah, all that. Oh yeah. I certainly didn't illegally torrent these, and I got tracks that go back to like Kazaa, and I never used like LimeWire. I know everyone that was like the big one. A lot of other people use LimeWire. I mean Napster when it was Napster before they sold out and became like
before they sold out and got sued by Metallica like a bunch of pussies.
But I don't know. I just got in a fucking groove. Like a lot of good songs came up in a row, and I was just like, my body said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to go to sleep. You've been drinking. There's a lot of good music. So I just like, that's why like. Did you see my Facebook feed? It's like I did like 9,000 tweets because I was just drunk and rocking out all night.
You were so drunk you were able to tweet on Facebook.
Well, I can say that because my Facebook automatically tweets to my Twitter when I Facebook it. So,
or does your Twitter automatically post to your Facebook?
I think it does both. I think, and it's weird because sometimes I'll send a message or I'll technically write to someone on Twitter, but not a direct message, sort of just on my timeline. And then Facebook picks it up. Yeah, so in Facebook, it has no fucking context of what's going on. Why does
that sounds like something I wouldn't want to do?
Yeah, why does Chris want to know what time the show is or something? It's just some random.
Yeah. It's like,
At Kanye West.
I don't know who Chris is talking to right now. but they seem like they're both pretty upset with Kevin Sorbo for some reason.
Oh my god! Okay.
Well, hold on. Maybe you guys aren't upset with him. You're just disappointed.
Disappointed! Oh, the Poor Man's Sci-Fi Network, which is, or should I say, still the Sci-Fi Network. Comet. Because since I don't have cable, but I do have one of those, like, clear TV things. And,
so you actually mean the Poor Man's Sci-Fi Network, not just like a shittier version, but like an actual Poor Man's.
But it's called Comet. And they have, like, a while back, they just kept giving fucking Stargate SG-1 reruns. Like, it was like the Stargate SG-1 network. And, like, you could catch, like, old episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, and the occasional, like, horror kind of sci-fi movie, whatever. And I guess they got the contract for Andromeda, which is the Kevin Sorbo post Gene Roddenberry died, so we're going to use something that he kind of, like, he looked at one, they held up a piece of paper, Gene Roddenberry looked at it, kind of smiled, and they said, let's make a series out of this.
It was Buffy Star Trek?
Yeah, and it's like, and is that's what's his face from Game of Thrones and Aquaman, right? Is that, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Jason Momoa.
Is that Jason Momoa?
I haven't seen that show in forever. I remember Kevin Sorbo and the weird cat girl thing.
Yeah, there was the hot alien
and she'd
cat girl.
Die and change color and stuff.
Yeah, she would change color. Her hair would change, or she'd have funky dreadlocks. Then there was the CGI ship that was like projected in a 3D hologram sort of a deal.
Oh yeah, you just go right ahead over there.
Yeah, it's only snowy and wet and slippery. You just cut across.
You're only cutting across 3 lanes of traffic and slush going 60 miles an hour. You're not a dick.
Yeah.
For those of you playing along listening, he is a dick. Actually. Here it is.
Yeah.
The right one, right?
Yeah, so I believe Jason Momoa was part of the alien race they called the Nietzscheans, which were basically humans. It was basically, they said, let's make a race of Klingons, but we don't want to have to put makeup on them every day, so we'll kind of give them like Klingon-like ethics and let everyone just wear leather vests. Like, all the Nietzscheans are all, like, well-buffed people. The men tend to have more dreadlocks than anything else. But it just seemed like...
More dreadlocks than anything else.
I'm just saying, is if you had...
on their dating site. Nietzscheansmeet.com. More dreadlocks than anything else.
I think it's like a style choice. Like, yeah, we're this race because we have dreadlocks. And not... But oddly enough, the cat girl had dreadlocks also. But they were supposed to be like...
The cat girl had dreadlocks and the Nietzscheans were like, that's cultural appropriation.
You can't use that. That's our thing.
My culture's not a fucking costume, bitch. Man, Andromeda was such a woke show.
And so, yeah, I caught it the other day. Like, I was getting ready for work. I was just flipping through the channels, and I'm like... First of all, it was awesome Andromeda. And then, like... You know, and like, I'm watching, I'm like, I'm 99% sure that's Jason Momoa. Like, before he became Jason Momoa. Are you going to apologize to Tommy B?
What?
Got your questions.
What the fuck is this, man? You that little guy for Channel 4 News? Fucking dropping like, how do you feel about your dad, Robert Downey Jr. and shit? Like, are you ever going to apologize to Tommy B? What are we doing here? Are we advertising a movie? Or? I mean, what do I have to apologize for?
We're saying fuck him and the horse that he rode in on. Well, you want to get him a horse so you can say fuck him and the horse he rode in on?
Is that what I said?
Or something to that effect?
I'm going to buy him a horse so I can ride in on it so that I can say fuck him and the horse he rode in on. Is that what I said to Tommy B?
Yeah.
Has he said anything since I?
Yeah, he was like, God damn it, because I just wanted to say I don't like a guy who doesn't like pickles or something like that.
Well, I guess
we finally get feedback.
I guess that was his chance to apologize, and he didn't take it.
So the ball's in your court, Tommy B.
Yeah, it's kind of a volley thing. I'll be the bigger person as soon as you're the bigger person. I'll be as big a person as him. But until
Very
then,
magnanimous of you.
thank you. I think.
Googling magnanimous. Oh shit! The car's spinning up.
I can't Google magnanimous right now. My hands are a little busy. Sounds big though. I like that. I'm the most magnanimous you've ever seen. Anyway, Tommy B, if I upset you, I'm sorry. But, you know, I'm sure you're fine. You seem like a tough broad.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, little boy.
But you touched me. So yeah, that's all I got to say to Tommy B. Come on.
So we're driving by a supermarket.
Give me purchase.
And we see a shopping cart that had Steel Reserve beer, which is like, you know, for those who don't know, very, very cheap beer, and a pack of ramen noodles. Both packages were empty, but seeing the cases in there were pretty funny. You know, I think I've been covering up the microphone on the recorder.
Wow, that was fucking brilliant, dude.
Oh boy! Holy fishtailing all over the road!
What the fuck are they doing up on the roof?
They're putting in an ISIS detector.
I thought you were gonna say ice machine. But what you came up with made even less sense.
You gotta call ICE to get rid of ISIS, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's not how that works. You call CTU or Homeland Security. You know, if you're gonna jump, let me get a crack at that pussy first. Let me find out.
Or some fearsome monster. Why am
I would yell that to them if I knew who either of those dudes were. What the fuck's happening up there? Seriously, though.
They could be replaced with some sort of air conditioning unit of some sort.
Is in a Mercy flight right now?
They had to break down the
Came in early and had a heart attack. They had to fucking crane him out of there.
Had to have evac units come. The helicopters are strung around there. So I guess there's a whole new, not controversy, but there's like people like, oh, they spent $5 million to advertise the Cloverfield paradox, but they have shows like Altered Carbon that they barely put any kind of money behind. Well, mind you, I've seen Altered Carbon on like advertising on Facebook. I mean, not that they're big money, not like, but then again, Cloverfield is a brand that, you know, yeah, they could throw $5 million behind because it's off the top of the head. If you say Altered Carbon, no one's like, oh, you mean that Blade Runner ripoff?
Well, I mean, with this Cloverfield movie, they just, sorry for the crinkles.
Oh, no.
They just dropped it on Netflix with no fanfare, and that was like, the appeal is supposed to be, hey, there was like no marketing for this, man, it's just here now.
Yeah.
Why not keep that going and, you know, just like, J.J. Abrams tweets, hey, this is on Netflix now, and that's fucking it, and just let it be all word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't need to spend a fucking dime on it.
Yeah, but from what I understand, if I read the article correctly, like, if you generally watch it, it will redirect you to Altered Carbon after you watch the Cloverfield Paradox. So it's like, they're giving a good lead-in. Like, you know, network TV, they always talk about, you know, the lead-ins, like why Thursday nights were always so, like, big on NBC, like must-see TV, you know, back in the day, you know, pre-rape allegations, Cosby Show,
Jesus.
You know. I remember, like, it was a Cosby Show, and Different World, and Cheers, and whatever the fuck else, you know, and whatever show, and Frasier. You know, it was like, you know, like Thursday nights were like the big nights. So I mean, at least Netflix kind of like hedged their bets, saying, okay, if you like science fiction like Cloverfield, you're gonna like, you know, Altered Carbon.
Maybe they produced Altered Carbon just so that they could, or no, maybe they produced the Cloverfield movie and like get this out so that they could lead in on that. Maybe that was maybe that was their strategy.
I mean, I want to see it. I hear good things. You know, of course they're comparing it to.
The time though, you know.
Yeah.
We do. We play Monster Hunter for hours tonight, man.
What kind of game is that? That's
PlayStation 4.
Style of games. Oh, it's got the Havoc. Any game with the Havoc's engine is worth playing. I don't give a fuck if it's you know.
If it's Matrix: The Path of Neo, which had the Havoc physics engine.
It did. Oh yeah.
It's like an action RPG thing. So you you build up your gear, you collect stuff to make cool swords, and you sharpen your swords, and you prepare for your hunt, and then you take on contracts, and you go out and you fight these huge dragons and dinosaurs and wolves and shit. And
okay.
This you can play with up to 4 people in your group, just fucking shit up.
Nice.
So, yeah.
The Path of Neo wasn't. No, wait. Was it the Path of? No. I never.
Enter the Matrix.
Enter the Matrix. I liked. I don't think I ever played Path of Neo.
Well, the fact that you liked Enter the Matrix, you probably would have liked Path of Neo. Enter the Matrix wasn't a good game. It was fun though. I did play the shit out of it, but I recognize it was a deeply, deeply flawed, buggy game.
Yeah, I mean they had to rush it out because the movies were filmed at the same. And
could have started earlier.
Anytime when they start filming, but they tied it in with the movie. Like they had the cutscenes and stuff like that, like from the movie, or filmed while they were.
Yeah, and they shot other things.
Yeah, I mean, the ending was a bit of a cop out. Do you remember the ending?
I don't.
Well, at that time, the Wachowski brothers come out, and they're 8-bit graphics. And they're like, hi.
No, that was Path of Neo.
That was Path of Neo?
That was Path of Neo.
Oh! I could have sworn that was Enter the Matrix. And they're like, oh, we couldn't figure out an ending. Most games end you fighting a big boss.
Yeah.
And they're like, we couldn't, the movie doesn't really end that way, so we kind of have to cheat and make an ending. And it's Agent Smith, using garbage to make a giant kaiju Agent Smith.
It was kind of cool, man. It was sort of neat.
But at least they were meta enough to go you know what?
Look, we recognize that this isn't how the actual movie ends, but
we have to give you a video game style ending.
No, okay, so then you probably didn't play Enter the Matrix then.
No, I remember playing Enter the Matrix because I remember the cutscenes with Niobe and the other dude.
No, it's Niobe and Ghost. And it's just not great, man.
Do you fly the Nebuchadnezzar or the ship like the Nebuchadnezzar in it, or am I
the Logos?
The Logos, yeah.
The Logos. And
you play the Logos?
At the very end, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Then I played it then.
All right.
And I remember doing the one move. Once I learned it, that was just the move that killed everybody. Where you would take the guy's gun, flip him sideways, then kick him in the stomach, and he'd go flying through the air. That was
that's how you could kill agents in the first level where they're like, you gotta run, you can't handle the agents, and I'm like, fucking watch me, I'm gonna throw him off this roof, and he's gonna die. And he can't take anyone over because I killed everyone else.
But I don't know.
You'd get a trophy for that nowadays.
I remember that game. I mean, I remember not being good, but I remember having fun. Most relationships in my life.
It's not good, but it's fun.
Nice. All right, so you're saying about a what? About you die twice?
Yeah, so it's like some old saying, everyone has 2 deaths. There's the first one, your heart stops beating. And the second, years later, when someone says your name for the last time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's fucking
That's
harsh,
fucked
right?
up, man. Yeah. But I guess if you're one of those people that donate to a charity, get your name on a plaque or something.
Yeah. And then that building gets torn down and no one ever thinks about it again.
And the aliens come and
All
rip the fucking building down. Hey, die again, human!
Take me to your skeeter.
I thought you humans like these. I watched your pornmd.com. Humans like it in the ass. No, the women like it in the... Well, there's some guys that like it in the ass.
UFO, unidentified funny O-face. Wait.
Oh, UFO. UFO.
Footy-fa-fa. That's French.
Which
something
happens to be my name.
Footy-fa-fa.
Footy-fa-fa. Goony-goo-goo.
Goony-goo-goo and Footy-fa-fa. We are looking for the one you call Sam's Club.
We too want to have sex with human earthlings. Well, any earthling, a cow could be an earthling, a sheep could be an earthling.
But humans are all earthlings, though.
Well, I guess, now. In the future, they not. You could not be an earthling and be a human. You could be a Martian. Like that movie with Matt Damon.
Thank you.
We want to.
I didn't know that was a thing.
We want to have sex with human earthlings.
Thank you for clarifying that the Martian had Matt Damon.
Well, I think the funny thing is that you're the one who's told me, you have to see The Martian. Or not,
right.
not like that, but...
And you're like, The Martian, that Matt Damon movie? Yeah, I know. Saw a big Martian kick at one point.
I used to think it was a real Streisand.
Also, it was a book.
Directed by...
Still is a book. You don't direct books.
Well, the movie was directed by Ridley Scott. He directed Alien and Gladiator and...
Are you just going to read Ridley Scott's IMDb page, man? It's an hour and 15-minute show.
Well, it's he has a lot of quality work on him, and he needs an honorable mention.
He produced Aliens, and he just... Dude.
He has a composing credit on Gladiator.
I mean, if and when someone listens to this podcast, I guarantee... That
was a lie.
I guarantee they're the kind of person who, probably knows who Ridley Scott is. And can if they found this podcast, they can find his IMDb page. They don't need you.
Well, it's weird, when you see, I think it was a Ridley Scott movie where, the composers were Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL.
What the fuck is Junkie XL?
He's like a techno EDM electronic music kind of guy.
Would it have been funnier if I chuckled and said, "Who the fuck is Hans Zimmer?"
But it's funny that, there are some scores. I want to say it might have been a Ridley Scott movie, or maybe one of the Batman v Superman. Was it Batman v Superman? One of those movies had Junkie XL. But it's funny. He's getting composer credit, but that's when it leaves the Hans Zimmer score and goes into kind of
Got a really dated concept of funk.
Junkie XL's don't fucking pigeonhole me, man. I can do classical music too. My name is Arnold.
Schwarzenegger, I was bamboozling you the whole time.
Well, that's because
I'm the Junkie XL. Want to get back into the Batman franchise?
Get to the drop. Wow, 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 wow.
Did I tell you I'm starting a kind of a ska dubstep band?
A ska dubstep band?
Yeah, first we drop the bass, then we pick it up. Thank you. I'm here for probably 10 more minutes, 20 if the weather's bad.
Ska step?
Yeah.
For the real fucking posers?
I call myself Scrollix. That wasn't funny, I'm sorry. Scrollix.
Trying to think of a famous ska band? Mighty Mighty Bosstones? Mighty...
Real Big Fish?
Real Big...
No?
Yeah, well, I guess... I don't know, I'm not a ska person.
Sublime,
No Doubt?
Sublime to an extent.
Sublime is for people that are too young to remember old school hip hop and how many lyrics he's actually stolen from old school hip hop, and people that are really, really, really too high to fucking notice the difference. I don't like Sublime.
I like them, but I can't argue with anything you just said. Yeah, you got me there, but I still like them, man.
Don't stop people from enjoying things.
Right.
Fuck. Fed fuck.
It's even if Radiohead wins, I'm still gonna listen to Lana Del Rey, okay?
They were interviewing some actress, and she was like, yeah, I'm really indie, like Radiohead. And I'm like, Radiohead, you mean that's been around since fucking 94?
That comment would have played about 20 years ago, sure. Really indie like Radiohead. Yeah, you're just a little start. There aren't any lanes on this road anymore, man.
Yeah, we started just following the grooves of the snow.
We're just
grooves
fucking
in the snow.
Ice road truckers. Wait, was that supposed to?
Grooves in the snow. I hope it's worth the noise.
I hope this is worth all the noise.
I don't know why. Jesus Christ. That was the 90s, man. Well, I guess I've only played Final Fantasy VII, so I don't know any chocobo noise.
Well, that's in that too.
I choke on my bow.
I'm playing with just your own. I'm sure.
I'm playing with my chocobo.
You got a couple chocobros come over. you just take those. Fuck are they called?
It's the Limp Bizkit Chocobo race. Choco Biscuit?
Cloud Strife used Ookie Kookie.
Summoning Tiamat. It's me, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's here all the time.
All the time, man.
I'm a fire dragon, yeah.
This has just been the most fucking disconnected episode. Nothing follows. Yeah. It's just stream of consciousness.
It's supposed. Well, there's nothing wrong with stream of consciousness if it's entertaining, right?
I guess so. It's just like watching someone have a dream.
It's like we're gonna throw whatever we can at the wall, see what sticks. You know,
like watching someone have a dream, but not like the kind of dream where they tell you about it the next day and try to make it sound interesting. Just so when they wake up, be like, "Oh, all right, well, kind of got pissed now."
And then you forget about it.
Right.
You have really good dreams, and you can take a piss and they go away.
Maybe dreams are piss. Because by the time I'm done pissing, I've always forgotten the dream.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
And you're like, I'm going to write this down. And then sometimes you even have, like, I keep a pen and a pad by my bed. But, like, by the time I have to piss first. That takes priority.
And you're like, I'm going to write this down. Then you go back to it weeks later, it's like, lion ice cream. What the fuck does that even mean?
What's a monkey umbrella? What's that monkey?
We got a Shriner, but he's angry because he doesn't want to be cooked into a s'more? I don't know that that's helpful at all. I really hope it's just the texture of the road and my car's not like about to explode.
Oh. Yeah, no, I think it's just the texture of the road. It hasn't been plowed.
He's on bridge. Hasn't been plowed in a while.
Like your mom, high five. Wait, what?
Well, see, what this guy's got to do is not park right there, because that's where I need to leave.
That can't be good.
Oh, no, he's not parked. He's just got his hazards on. He's like, I'm not a great winter driver, guys, so I'm going to go real slow with my hazards on. Do you see me? Do you see me? It's not a fucking whiteout, man. Everyone can see you just fine. We get that you're going slow. We're all scared out here, okay? I, for one, I'm terrified. But I'm gonna deal.
Any last words?
Oh, come on, man. I brought down to 25. For this curve where the speed limit, when the weather's fine, is 25. Whoops.
It's more of a suggestion than anything else.
Yeah, sure.
It's more of a guideline.
Yeah, if there's a white line around the stop sign, it's optional. My friend failed her driver's test like 7 times, and one of the times is because someone fucking told her that. And like when she finally got her license, it wasn't because she did well on her test finally. It's because she did super fucking poorly and started crying. It was like, I failed this 7 times, and the guy's like, oh, fucking goddamn it, just take it, please. Don't cry. I was just trying to be all careful because, like, oh, cop, like, oh, no,
that's a public safety guy.
It was like campus security or some shit. I mean, I do too, but I don't tell anyone off Grindr about it.
Yeah. I called my genitals Junior and the twins. I totally stole that joke from you.
You did. And it was completely devoid of context. Someone's just like, oh, great, he's back into the Arnold shit.
I'm embracing this the stream of consciousness thing.
Well, thank you all for joining us for our least sensical and entertaining episode yet.
I'm laughing, so that's... If I'm laughing, I'm laughing.
If you're the only one laughing at your joke, it wasn't a good joke.
Oh my god, today at work, so we're working in an area where I'm working a machine that needs constant attention. It's worse than a fucking woman. It's a machine that, like, if you step away for 30 seconds, it jams up. And, like, I want to find the person who developed this machine, because it's like, if you made a machine that is supposedly... I mean, I understand it's somewhat automated. It needs, but as it's doing its job, you have to fill it up with the raw materials and cups and boxes and all this other bullshit. But, like, you step away for 30 seconds to open a box, and the fucking gets jammed up. And I want to find the person who developed this machine and punch him in the face. Because that's not how... A machine... A quote-unquote, like, semi-automated machine whatever you want to call it, if that's even a
It's not
thing.
a fucking Mac 10. Semi-automated.
Semi-automated machines don't hurt people. Fucking running back to the machine every 30 seconds hurts people. But it's like, it's frustrating because it's like, well, I have to step away for a second. I'm not stepping away to goof off. I'm not stepping away to fucking have fun or sit down or relax. I'm stepping down to get more materials to put in the machine.
The good news is, whoever designed that with how old that machine is probably dead.
Oh. And I guess, like, okay, I guess it could be totally automated and I'd not have a job.
Right.
But still.
The cool thing about all that bad shit that you need to fix on the machine is that next Friday they're going to pay you for having done it.
Yeah.
That's how you got to look at it, man. That's how you got to face the world. That all our listeners out there, that's how you got to go in every day looking at it like, you know what? Fuck it, man.
Don't look at your neighbor's plate.
Yeah, don't look at your neighbor's plate.
You keep telling me.
It's got racial slurs all over it.
Fuck that. I'm looking at everybody's plate. I want to know what the fuck everybody has, because I want to know if I'm getting fucked or not.
Yep.
If I'm hungry and I see someone eating more than me, then that's not fair. And so I'm going to look at their plate. It's, I mean, it's a very Zen philosophy. And I guess it's one of those, like, just let it go. Like, you'll be a lot happier if you let it go. And that's a big source of a lot of my problems.
You just can't let shit go.
I can't let shit go. No, I have to fucking address it.
Yeah, I gotta get you a little book of quotables on these things. Like, you know, fucking
the Zen of
if there's a problem with a solution, there ceases to be a problem. If there's a problem with no solution, it's not a problem. It's just the way things are. And worry is interest paid in advance on a debt that never comes due.
And it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness.
Fuck that, man. Curse the darkness. Darkness is an asshole. Darkness deserves to be cursed.
Fucking absence of light. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Austin.
Don't be a stranger. Peace. We're out. Bye. You should be fasting. Let me do my whole outro stuff. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find all things show related. You can find links to our iTunes page. You can download, subscribe to us on iTunes, on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod. If you don't have an iPhone, iPad, or iPod, you can download us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER for Android devices. That's the Stitcher app. I use the available offline option and listen later option, so you don't have to kill your data, you don't have to kill your battery when your Wi-Fi spot. Get all the episodes you want to listen to, and listen to them later. And of course, we are available on the SoundCloud app. That is our hosting site. I make sure all the episodes are downloadable. I think on iPhones they are downloadable, but on Androids they aren't. So that's why I'm a little like... But if you go to the website on SoundCloud, you can find us, and you can download them from there if you want to do. If you want to write to us, you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. That's all spelled out, Two Strangers One Podcast. I got a brand new computer. Thank you to my dad for helping me out with basically a payment for the computer, because we're recording this on a new system, and it sounded good when I was recording earlier. So, thank you, Dad.
I'm sure it was the old computer holding you back and not this antique microphone we're using.
The microphone has soul. It has spirit. It has
you guys seeing all this soul in the podcast?
I haven't. The funny thing is with the new computer, I don't have time to sign into the email account right now, but no one writes us anyway. But if you want to write us, you can write us at Two Strangers One Podcast.
Well, what happened to that one fan that writes all the time?
He fell off the fucking face of the earth. I don't know what happened.
Really?
Well, I don't know.
You think the Earth's flat? Oh, we got another hour to go then, man.
Well, let's go to the space station. Look. But yeah, but you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. We want your money. We need your money. And until we set up a Patreon, what you can do is you can share and like us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. Once again, all spelled out. And share this episode, like the page, share the entire page, and that'd be great. We also have a YouTube group, Two Strangers One Podcast Network. Let me see what else. We're on
Twitter at Stranger Podcast. No, I've only, the episodes that are available online right now are really only from the past year. If you want to go back and listen to any of our other episodes from more than 5 years ago, we are on YouTube. Just search for Two Strangers One Podcast. You can find all the earlier 200 some odd shows. You can find my Stranger Vlogs, which I've done about 40 so far, and I have 2 in the pipe, and 2 up the butt, 2 in my anus, like a finger. And I also have my audiobook. If you want to hear my second book, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, you can listen to it totally for free on YouTube. Just search for Odd I See, A Tale from the Road. Also available on YouTube, and that's about it. I can't think of her speak on.
No, I got
you
nothing
never.
going on, man.
I was like, fuck that. I got shit I got to do.
If you guys can tell me how to beat this part of Zelda I'm stuck on, that'd be great. Shoot me an email. Thunderblight Ganon's a bitch.
Thunderblight Ganon. So if you have any way to beat Thunderblight Ganon, you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks. Get some traffic in that email account. Bunch of people telling me how bad I am at the game.
That's like the first half of the game. Like not even the first half.
Well, no, it's because you can tackle those dungeons in any order.
Oh, okay. Which I think is a total ripoff of Shadow of the Colossus, but for another day.
You can't tackle those in any order.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, you proved me wrong. I'm committing to
it. All right. Well, we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening, had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to the Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Austin.
Don't be a stranger. Peace. We're out. Bye.
Chocolate.
You should be fapping. Balls.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I got to meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
yeah,
man.
Is.
Look at her. Fucking, she's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. And if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a fucking a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know, you're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could saw them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.